1944, Nazi Germany. A German pilot spots American bombers in the distance. But it's not the bombers he fears. It's their escorts, the fighters with blood-red tails, the ones they called blackbirds of death. Meanwhile, white American bomber crews are celebrating. Because they know, if you see red tails above you, you're coming home alive. But here's what neither side knew. These pilots weren't supposed to succeed. In fact, their own military designed their program to prove they would fail, because before they could fight Hitler, they had to fight American racism. 1925, the U.S. Army War College releases a study claiming black men lack the intelligence, courage, and skill to fly aircraft. It wasn't just racism, it was official military doctrine. But in 1939, with war approaching, something changed. Black newspapers and civil rights leaders launched a campaign that forced Congress to create a test program for black pilots. The military agreed, but designed it to fail. They chose Tuskegee, Alabama, deep in the segregated South. They made requirements impossibly high: college education when most universities wouldn't accept black students, advanced math and engineering skills, perfect physical condition. They expected maybe 10 qualified candidates. They got hundreds: college graduates, engineers, athletes, the best and brightest of Black America, all fighting for a chance to prove that study wrong. Tuskegee's training program was designed to be impossible. The washout rate for white pilots was 40%. For Tuskegee, they expected 99%. Instead, they got perfection. These men weren't just passing, they were excelling. Their mathematics scores were higher, their navigation was more precise, their formation flying was flawless. Because they knew one mistake, one failure would condemn not just them, but every black pilot who dreamed of following them. As one cadet put it, we weren't just learning to fly. We were flying for the right of our people to fight. While white cadets trained on new aircraft, Tuskegee pilots learned in worn-out planes. While white squadrons got experienced instructors, Tuskegee trained itself. They didn't just have to be as good as white pilots. They had to be better. And they were. 1943. The 99th Fighter Squadron arrives in North Africa. Their welcome? Being stationed far from the front lines, assigned to patrol empty seas. The message was clear. They weren't trusted in real combat. Then came the lies. White commanders wrote false reports claiming the Tuskegee Airmen were cowards who fled from combat. They demanded the program be shut down. But they made one mistake. They left a paper trail. Colonel Benjamin O. Davis, Jr., their commander, demanded an investigation. The results? Not a single Tuskegee pilot had abandoned their bomber escorts. Not one. In fact, their record was better than white squadrons. That's when everything changed. They got new P-51 Mustangs, painted the tails bright red, and received the most dangerous mission of all, protecting bomber crews deep in Nazi territory. What happened next would make military history. The numbers tell the story. While other escort groups lost, on average, 25 bombers per thousand, the Red Tails lost only 7. White bomber crews started requesting them specifically. German pilots called them Schwarze Vogelmenschen, the Black Birdmen. When they saw red tails, many refused to engage. One Nazi pilot's diary entry read, "The black ones are the worst. They never seem to miss." Colonel Benjamin O. Davis led 200 missions without losing a single bomber to enemy fighters. But here's what makes their record even more extraordinary. They achieved this while facing discrimination at their own bases. Between missions protecting America's bombers, they returned to segregated bases. The same men who saved countless white pilots' lives couldn't eat in the same mess hall with them, but they maintained their standard: excellence without excuse, victory without vengeance. 1948. President Truman orders the military desegregated. The reason? The undeniable excellence of the Tuskegee Airmen. They didn't just prove black pilots could fly, they proved segregation itself was a liability to American power. Their impact went far beyond military integration. Every black astronaut, every African-American commercial pilot, every person of color in aviation stands on their wings. But perhaps their greatest legacy isn't in the sky at all. They proved excellence is the best weapon against racism. As one Tuskegee Airman said, "We didn't fly for ourselves, we flew for those who would come after us." The Red Tails weren't just fighting the Nazis, they were fighting for America's soul, and they won both battles, not with anger, not with protest, but with undeniable, unstoppable excellence. Their story isn't just history, it's a blueprint for overcoming impossible odds. Share this video to inspire the next generation. Because somewhere right now, another young pilot is looking up at the sky, dreaming of breaking their own barriers. The red tails never miss their target. Don't miss our next video. Subscribe now.